Something as simple as paper and glue can motivate the imagination to create something new. Papier-mâché art can be found worldwide, but here in South Florida, inspiration takes the form of giant sharks and key lime pie.
I like working big and colorful. That's why you'll see around the house, you'll see 8-foot sharks and 10-foot sharks and 6-foot Pop-Tarts and 4-foot key lime pie slices.
You do a lot of objects too, right?
Yeah, we like to vary. I mean, I love sharks. I love sea animals. Here in Florida, it's a perfect fit, but there's a lot of other things. I like Kellogg's pastries, I guess, too, right? Since I do a lot of Pop-Tarts and cupcakes.
Working on the premise of bigger is better, DeVito Kelly's creations actually began as a small diversion prompted by his wife, Andrea.
Actually, Andrea and her mom, she had a gallery. This was in New Jersey, and they sold art supplies and also taught art. And one of the supplies that you buy, remember the papier-mâché mix? It's called Celluclay.
Right.
And one day she said, here, make something, you're being a pain. So I made this shark, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 feet long, and I thought, this is kind of neat.
For Andrea, studying fine art at the University of Pennsylvania has enabled her to experiment with many art forms. And through her travels, she has lived in places where art is not only inspiring, but a way of life.
I used to live in Mexico, and they do a lot of papier-mâché art there, and that's what inspired me mostly. But again, it's because it's fun, and that's why I do it.
It's versatile
Yeah,
too. Papier-mâché is versatile. You can use all types of things. I use a styrofoam base now, and it's lightweight and colorful, and you can do so many different things.
No job is too big for DeVito and Andrea. Often commissioned to make larger-than-life objects whimsical and fun, they have perfected this art form.
We use a product, it's a papier-mâché mix that after it dries, it's actually very, very hard. So it's long-lasting, and I think that enables us to create things like the 6-foot cat in the hat that we made. If you did it with the newspaper strips, it's probably going to be too fragile. But this it's long-lasting and it's solid. So that's why it's fun to work with, because you can create so many different things. We made 2 5-foot turkey legs, which was a lot of fun. That was for the.
That was unusual, the turkey legs, but they look great. And
not in our house.
It was the perfect medium for it because it was rough, and then when you collared it, you could really get that texture of a barbecued turkey leg, and it was tasty. It was so much fun.
DeVito and Andrea's art are never far from home. Their work adorns the walls and halls of businesses in the community, like the Surf Road Taco in Hallandale, where sharks hang from the ceiling watching hungry patrons. You can also find a school of fish circling the South Regional Library at Broward College.
DeVito Kelly's papier-mâché art enhances the library because it's so colorful, and we have hung it on the walls between the first and the second floor, and the children and adults just love looking at it as they're going up and down the stairs, and it's one of the first things that the children see as they come into the library, and they really love it. They're like, look, Mom, a shark!
Sharing in the joy of papier-mâché art, they offer workshops at educational facilities and community centers throughout Florida.
When we do a lot of the classes, the children are able to do it. Cutting out the papier-mâché shapes, sharks, dolphins, seals, butterflies, sea turtles, they can all identify with those things. And so when they create something, it's something they can do, and it's tangible. They can come home and they can say, look, I made something, and they can use it for other projects, maybe for school, for science projects, that type of thing. What I did is I came up with using the styrofoam as a base. And then what we did is we used colored tissue paper, glue water mix, you brush it on, and you could make a really cool design. And the kids could finish it in an hour, a little less, a little more, but they could finish something in a reasonable amount of time.
We had the workshop in the auditorium with the adults and the parents and the children. The parents loved it as much as the children did, and we had a lot of books. We always bring the books out also that are related to the project, to the animals, the sharks, so the kids can relate. And they loved the books as well as the project, so it was really it was a lot of fun. And the kids got to take home the sharks, so that was even more fun. They could hang it up in their room.
The workshops are geared towards children, but a lot of times their parents accompany them, and they get into it. and sometimes they end up doing a project too, and that's always nice. And they really, so that's how it is for everyone, because I think it has such appeal.
It's very calming. The parents tell me it's like therapy. You're not, you forget about paying bills and doing all these a million things you have to do at home, and it's relaxing.
To learn more about papier-mâché art, go to devitokelly.com.
The preceding program was a production of WLRN Public Television.